So it's a company called Momentus. MNTS is the share symbol, stock symbol. By the way, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's basically a zero. I mean, this is something that's, it's bound to happen. In a new hot sector of the space, you're bound to have scams come in here that say they have a technology that works, but it really doesn't. And with this one, the SEC even uses the F word in describing this company. And I just say your fraud is not rocket science. It's not that hard to commit a fraud, but rocket science is hard, right? Basically what happened was State World Acquisition Corp was the SPAC, and they were looking for they're a blank check company. They were looking for a cannabis company, because that's where the management of Staple Road has all their experience in cannabis. But then what happened was let me close. Well, I guess I can leave that open. What happened was they got sweet talked into from a third-party investor contacted them and said, hey, why don't you do this cool space investment instead? So they know all their experiences in cannabis. They ditched cannabis and then went to this space company called Momentus. Okay, so Momentus, the founder was led by Mikhail Kokorich. He has no space background. He worked in retail for 10 years before getting involved in space ventures. So he was involved in some building space like lumber, building tools, and then he got into retail that sold basically bedroom stuff or stuff for the living room for the house, household products for 10 years, and then he started to get into space ventures. And his first two space ventures were failures. Momentus was his third endeavor. So now Momentus has a strange technology, and this is a picture of a satellite coming through, being pushed by water. Now it's called Microwave Electrothermal Thruster Met Water Propulsion System. So it's pushed by water, yeah. And it's not a very good system in general. The MET system is not in general. From Wikipedia, it says, in general, electrothermal thrusters have the lowest efficiency among most other electric propulsion systems. And just Momentus' tech, this doesn't work. Water as fuel makes the system too complicated, but it does sound appealing because if you have a satellite in space, you can go get water from other planets, and you can get an asteroid to refuel. So that's sort of the bullish side of it is they say, oh yeah, you can get a bunch of water, replenish the fuel. Just you can get the satellite to do it on its own from different planets and asteroids. So I guess is this a green play as well as the space play? I mean, I find that part kind of funny. Now basically Momentus lied and said their technology works. So Kokorich was quoted in a Space News article on September 25th, 2019. Beyond orbit testing has demonstrated for the first time that MET technology has the potential to achieve high specific impulse using water propellant. So the first time, so is this guy that worked in retail for 10 years, is he the next Einstein or is he a scam artist? Clearly the latter. So he says water plasma propulsion is now technically mature enough to be baseline for operational in-space transportation missions. So again, nobody's able to do this. This is the first time they say they've been able to do it. So then the Momentus at a glance. So they say here, this is their October 2020 investor presentation, and they didn't. The SPAC didn't finally reach the trading on the exchange until August 2021. So this is getting ready to have investors invest in the SPAC. And they say here, this is a lie. They say successfully tested water-based propulsion technology on a demo flight launched mid-2019 is still operational today. So that's a total lie. It was not successfully tested, and it's not in operation today. So that's a double lie there. Now they planned satellite launches in early 2021 that never happened. So this is the same October 2020 investor presentation. None of these launches happened here, but they said were going to happen. So here they got, they got to sign contracts and everything. All this stuff, the El Camino test flight, which was a failure, which we'll show in a moment. And then they were going to do these launches, and none of them ever happened. So now let's say the truth of what it is. So Momentus current CEO John Rood in the company blog post on August 2nd, 2021, he said right here. Close my. So he said in 2021, core to our service yield is our microwave electrothermal thruster. That's the water plasma propulsion system I just showed you earlier. We decided to focus on this technology because when it's matured, that means it's not matured yet. But the other guy said just the opposite. The founder said it was mature. Now the CEO is saying it's not mature. So now the SEC cracked down before before it went public. They filed a complaint in July 2021. So just a month after they went public, the SEC filed a complaint. And the SEC said Momentus is a fraud. So this El Camino Real mission to test the technology was a failure. Kokorich knew it failed, but lied and told investors it was a success, like we showed earlier. The SEC asked the court to fine Momentus $7 million. So the SEC did their job. Okay, so they warned investors, and they're punishing the fraudsters by having them pay a multi-million-dollar fine. So this SEC, so now it's up to the investors to not buy the stock. I mean, it's up to them, of course, but the SEC warned the public what's going on. Okay, this is a fraud. This is what the SEC said. It just quotes from the SEC complaint. The case concerns a fraud perpetrated by defendant Mikhail Kokorich to secure and front a merger agreement between Momentus and Stable Road Acquisition Corp. So that's the F word. Then it says Momentus, through its launch partner, stated in a public filed SEC application on September 12, 2018, the El Camino Real was a commercial demonstration of Momentus propulsion system that would show its reliability, longevity, performance, and utility. So that's what they said. But contrary to the claims, that's what Momentus said, but contrary to the claims of Momentus blog post or in the SEC application, the Momentus Met water propulsion thruster, as integrated in the MX-1 satellite, was not powerful enough or appropriate to provide commercial satellite placement services. So this satellite's gone. I mean, and like we said earlier, like Met on its own is the least efficient technology to propel satellites. And not only that, the water doesn't even work. It's inappropriate. It makes the system too complicated. And Momentus' own officer stated, the thruster test and El Camino Real mission does not have commercial potential. So there's no potential here, no commercial potential, because it was too small, too inefficient, and too low in total impulse. So we already, went over this, those reasons. So the El Camino mission was a failure. This is the SEC talking here. After experiencing significant problems with supporting subsystems and its propulsion system, so there you go, so the subsystems have problems and the propulsion system has problems, Momentus attempted only 23 firings. And Momentus lost contact with the satellite, the MX-1 satellite, approximately 3 months into the planned 6-month mission, and was never able to attempt the remaining 77 firings it had planned, much less achieve any of the 100 individual burns of 1 minute or more. So not only did it not do the 100 firings, it didn't. None of the firings were 1 minute or more. So all the little bit amount of firings they did were failures. So what happened was after this is Momentus immediately settled with the SEC, then immediately did the stock merger anyway. Like this market is so bullish that people don't care that they're investing in a fraud. Like this is the clear fraud, which I'm showing here, but it gets people's imagination going when they look at any new technology, any new space technology. So Momentus paid $7 million fine, and Stable Road paid $1 million. So this suggests guilt. Like if they're innocent, why would they pay a fine if they're innocent? Then a month after settling on August 13, 2021, Momentus went public. So the timeline is the complaint happened in July 2021. then they settled in September. They settled, so a month later they settled, and then they went public in August 13th, 2021. So just 2 months ago. So people are still, like I said, people are still buying Momentus stock despite it being exposed by the SEC. That's how bullish this market is. But Koukouris is very happy. He and his initial investor were forced to leave Momentus due to being from Russia. It's international concerns, security concerns. But they were able to sell their stock for $50 million. So Koukouris got $50 million, and they're laughing all over the bank. Now they're done with Momentus. They're like, see you later. They took their money. Now they're gone, long gone. Now he's doing another space project. So what's next for Momentus and the bearish catalysts? Well, on the August 2021 investor presentation on page 24, they said that it's projected to receive all regulatory approvals and commence its first flight in June 2022. Now that's a long time. I mean, the company's going to burn a lot of cash up until then. And by the way, somebody asked, price target. Price target clearly is 0 on this, but who knows how long that's going to take. I don't have a 1-year price target on this. We'll see what will happen. But clearly the technology doesn't work. Now on September 3rd, 2021, they filed an S1 to sell 63.2 million shares of stock for shareholders plus 272,500 warrants. So the company isn't going to get any money from the stock sales, but they might get paid if they do like a shares plus warrant offering. If the warrants get exercised, they'll get they get money from the warrants. But clearly, like all the insiders went out. They don't want to stick around. They're going to sell all their shares, 63 million shares. So that concludes the presentation here. I could re-go over any slides if I went over them too fast. I'll put the report on my website later after we're done here.
Very cool. That's awesome. That's really interesting, Adam, and thank you for that. You may want to stop sharing your screen here when you get a chance. There's a question here about the price target. You said eventually it's 0. You have no intermittent price target. How did the market miss this? This is all, like you said, these are all public filings. The SEC obviously made it's all public. So how did the market miss this, and why were they allowed to go through with this offering?
Well, it's a technology that doesn't work, and the public allows these stocks to exist. I mean, there's other companies that have a technology they're so-called working on, that isn't working. Now the SEC, they probably just wanted to get paid for the work they did. So they said, okay, we've informed the public this is a fraud and this is a scam. Just pay us and we'll get out of your hair. So the SEC got their money. They got $8 million, and they successfully warned the public about this company. Maybe people are just ignoring that because they figured, oh, the SEC got settled, the SEC complaint got settled, so now it's in the past. So maybe they think it's okay to buy it, but besides the $8 million, the company had to settle. The company, company's a scam. So it's nothing's going to come of this. In the future, nothing good is going to come from this company.
Crazy. Yeah, and so the stock is dropping here a bit in the pre-market, but it's still at a premium to the $10 range where it went public. So, and they don't have any other assets?
No, it's just this. It's just this. They have their business plan is to help push satellites into space with this water propulsion technology, and so immediately if you look at the chart, I don't have the chart here on the slides, but you just see the chart when it went public in August 13th of this year. Immediately sold off to like a low of $8,
right? And
then it went up again. So clearly insiders were selling right away, and then all the hype with the space and everything got the stock back up again.
And I guess you can do that with a SPAC. Insiders can sell their shares before there's no lockup periods or anything.
Some of them can, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I don't know the whole details on the lockup or not, but yeah, definitely there was some insider selling there.
Wow. Is there anything else that could possibly be a saving grace from this company? I mean, I guess as they could do another deal, right? I mean, a SPAC could.
Well, this technology they have now, clearly doesn't work, but they're still pushing it. So I think they're gonna have to just keep experiencing a lot of failures in it, unless they actually get it working. But it was created by somebody that was in retail, selling like bedroom furniture and house furniture. So it's like the guy brought up a technology that's never worked. He lied and said it does. He lied and said they did get it to work, and now he's gone with his $50 million. And they're going to keep going with the technology because the market cap's almost $1 billion, so people want to hear that story. And yeah, so that's basically they're just going to keep trying to get it to work, or they won't try to get it to work because they were supposed to have 4 test launches, 4 more this year after their initial one failed. They're supposed to have 4 more this year that never happened. So maybe nothing will happen. Maybe they won't do any more launches, and maybe insiders will just sell and be gone, and it'll just be like a zombie company, for the next year or so before they do some other fake tests. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much the future, unless they go into a different sort of space products. But right now, as a CEO, I'll show you that again. The CEO also, CEO said when it's matured, so he's not, that basically means when it works. So the technology doesn't work right now, and the CEO is also quoted. I don't even quote his other quote, but he said, "Yeah, this is a big trend." So he's talking about, yeah, we think the stock will do well, and because space is a big trend. So he's not saying, yeah, we're gonna accomplish anything. He's just saying space is a popular trend right now. So that's
he's right about that.
Yeah. So that'd be the only reason to buy it, is because you think it's gonna continue to be a hot trend. But like I said, the insider is gonna sell. That should knock the stock down, and then all the bad news and delays should get people pretty skeptical over time, who are of hope right now.
Interesting. And I just did a Google search here while I was speaking to you, and the only thing that came up, I mean, they were mentioned in a CNBC article about 2 weeks ago. Investment in space companies exceeds $10 billion this year, a new annual record. And they were mentioned as one of these companies that's doing so wonderfully, apparently. But then the only other thing I saw was about the press release that they hired a chief legal officer, an individual by the name of Paul Ney, N-E-Y, former general counsel at the United States Department of Defense, the DoD. I suspect he will be a busy man going forward. But so
they don't put out. I've noticed they don't put out that many. They don't put out that many PRs.
Yeah.
Right. I see a question here. When will the prospectus be effective? Well, they do have an effect out right now. So I assume that's for their S3. So now they got the prospectus. I don't know if that they need another effect for the prospectus, but I assume the effect that's already out allows them to sell shares at any time.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah,
and
so I think they're probably going to go for another offering after that, because right now they have the effect out for the S3, so that's for the insiders to sell. So the company's not going to get any money from the 63 million shares from the insiders, unless the warrants get exercised. But now they may have another one that's not in effect yet. That's just for the company to raise money.
Right. Another press release here. They are, this just came out yesterday. They're announcing third quarter financial results on November 9th, which is a week from Tuesday. So it's just
that should come out. They don't have any revenues, so that'll come out.
Right. All right. Well, there you go. There's the next catalyst here. A couple of questions here I want to get to. Any idea when the 423 will be effective? And how many shares will there be for sale?
That's what I just answered. Yeah, it's
Okay.
I guess that one's not effective yet. But they have an effect out for the insider song.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. Another question I have, somewhat tangential here, is there a SPAC in the space sector that you like? Assumption here that I guess you did a little bit of work in this and you looked at these. Are there any other that you are? I mean, are they all kind of? Yeah. What do you think about this sector? And is there anything else out here that caught your attention for whatever reason?
Well, I don't know one I necessarily like. I mean, I personally did invest in a private equity one that used to take company used to take pictures out in space, and now they're doing other stuff. They're expanding with that. But I mean, the market cap for that right now, that one, I forgot the name of it because I invested in a while ago, just a little investment with my broker, but that was like a $200 million market cap only at the time. So this is $1 billion, and that one already, the other one already had success. The one I invested already had success with satellites in space. So I think I would try to at least get a technology that works. If you're going to invest in a space company, invest in one that's actually doing stuff. The company's not doing anything.
Yeah. Wow. Another question here. This is also only tangentially related. Any updates? But while we have you, I figured we would ask this. Any updates on your short from last week, NXTP?
No, not other than what we'll put in the White Diamond Research Twitter. We did a couple updates on the Twitter. We're continuing our research on that company, and we'll keep putting that down for that. But right now, it's just we don't have any updates.
Very cool. All right. Any other questions here? This is your last chance to ask Adam any questions about Momentus, or I guess anything else that you might want to know about. This presentation, Adam, if you can just email it, or it'll be on your website in, I believe, 10 minutes or less. And so people can get it there, and you'll tweet that out. I'll send the link out to you guys as well.
Yeah, there's more details of everything in the report. This presentation just as the main point.
Oh, this is just the main presentation, so I'll have more details. Wonderful.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, this everything in here is in the report as well. But yeah, the report has more details on everything.
Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Well, this was fantastic. Thank you so much, Adam. Thank you all for watching and joining. And remember that you can sign up to get my, I don't call it research because it's more just a collection of things. It's not any proprietary research, but a morning email briefing that I send along with a podcast by 7 a.m. every morning, every weekday morning. You can get that at the website contrarian.substack.com. Actually, it's contrarianpod.substack.com. But anyway, yeah, and there's other ways to get it too, which is on the website contrarianpod.com. Don't forget about Value Walk and Breakout Point as well, who provide excellent service. And you do get a discount on their offerings as well. Links to those are in the notes that will be sent out. And unless there are any other last minute questions for Adam, going once, going twice, going 3 times, gone, we'll conclude this session now by thanking you all and looking forward to speaking to you again next time.